Check, testing, check. Check, testing, check. 1, 2. Check, testing, check. Check, testing. That was seeming like too much of a longer delay than normal. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is Vortex 46. I'm back with another live stream talking about my favorite sport out of any favorite sport, which is the NBA. Some games going on right now. Milwaukee won against Atlanta 112-110. I believe they covered the spread. But the under hit. Had a feeling about that under and I didn't take it. I should have. I was fading the Cavs. I should have taken their team total points under hours and hours ago. I took a live bet for them to go under 108. Looks like they're going to get it. There's 4 minutes left. I personally feel like they'll get the 108. But the actual under, I took the under on the game at 2:34.5 hours ago. Technically yesterday. Per the video for today, I recorded for today. So it looks like my original pick is going to cash, right? So that's pick number one. My other main pick that I wasn't able to do a video on is for the San Antonio Spurs to score 64 points against the Houston Rockets in the first half. So there's that. As far as yesterday is concerned, had some wins, of course, still had some losses. Hit on one parlay. Let me see if I can find my. Let me see. So these cashed, right? And I caught a live slip. I caught Kevin's assist here plus 400. That was a live slip I put in. I'm mad because Johnson for the Wizards, I was looking at his assist for 4 assists. It was a plus 360, and I knew it dropped down to plus 350, and I knew I was on the bus riding home from work, and I said I need to take this pick, but then I got busy looking at a few other stuff, and I forgot about it. He has 4 assists right now. Currently, he may have 5, but it is what it is. And I also cashed on this 4 leg, technically 3.5, because Drew got voided. He was out, but this one cashed. Similar slip today, pretty much 10 points each. It's this one. Bobby got the 10. I need Middleton to score 2 buckets, just 2, and then we can move on to Christie and Harper for the 5 p.m. game. So hope for the best. This one didn't cash. I thought that. Well, I forgot CJ was coming off the bench. If I literally wasn't even thinking. If I was new, like, to remember, like, CJ coming off the bench, don't take this, or maybe even fade it. At least fade the 6.5. You know what I mean? He finished with 6, so I think he went over his actual projected points. I have to look into this because this was a live pick, so I don't even know if that's gonna go. And like I said, I took the live under. I personally feel like the Cavs are gonna actually score points, so we'll see. But we'll see. It's going to be close. It's going to be a nice, close one. So we will see. Let's dive into it because there's 2 5 p.m. games. Let's see if we can maybe possibly find something live here. Now the spread opened up at 10, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check. As of yesterday, right? Maybe wrong. Could be wrong. Actually, it was not. Actually, it was. Okay, so this is October. Let me. So it originally opened up back in October of last year at 5.5. Let's see anything. So it was as of yesterday. So it was 9.5. Because when I looked at it last night, it was actually sitting on 10, like a literally 1-0, 10. You know what I mean? But technically, it's still a 10, but it's a 9.5. So it ended up changing to a 10.5. Now it's officially 12.5. I think one of the main reasons is because Cooper is back, because he's officially in. Okay, Brunson and Hart are in too. All right. So the question becomes, do I decide to take the Knicks to blow out tonight to win by 13 points? Do I take Dallas, who sucks on the road, for the plus 12.5? Do I maybe take a first half spread? Let's actually look at the data over here on Moneyballer when it's pertaining to the first half, when it's pertaining to the spread. Right. Full game spread. This is what it says for the Knicks. They are 14-7 at home to covering the spread, 21-22, though under 500 to covering the spread just in general. 19-18 as favorites to cover, but at home as favorites, they're 13-7 at home. So do you, again, decide to take the Knicks to cover the now 12.5, right? That's the question. When it's pertaining to the actual data here on Outlier, the Mavericks are technically hitting at 80%, 8-2, right? They, again, more so been covering at home here in these last few games, here specifically in the month. But let's look at them on the road in the last 10. They didn't cover against Chicago. They covered against Utah. They covered against Sacramento in a win. And they covered against Portland in a loss. So those are 3 games, right? The Knicks specifically have not covered a minus 12.5 at all in the last 10 games. At all. But okay, one time. back in December, on the 9th, they covered one time this 12.5. We can look at the home games now. Now, looks a little bit better, right? Just in general. But they're covering at 35% to a plus 12.5. Wow, let's look at Dallas, 75% to covering they're covering minus 12.5, but then Dallas is covering the plus 12.5 at a 75%. So the question becomes, what do you decide to do? Me, with the way that Dallas plays on the road, we just look in the last 10 games here. How many times have they scored 110 points? At least 110. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Knicks, again, this is them at home, specifically at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, Dallas was what, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when I look at stuff like this, I need to see if the teams are scoring 110 points, if they're scoring higher, are they hitting 115? Dallas, 1, 2, 3 times in the last 7 games they scored 115. New York at home, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. All those 6 that we originally looked at, they scored 115 points and pretty much higher. They play at a slower pace compared to Dallas, who plays a faster pace. The total may still hit. It depends. It's 231.5. Did it open up it was actually 229 last night. And then, of course, it shifted. So just a couple of spots up. I would say maybe, possibly, again, maybe New York just might freaking blow them out tonight. But again, per the data here. But now let's break it down a little bit more. So currently, where Dallas is with the first half spread, as away dogs, they're 3-9. First half, just in general with the actual spot, they're 4-7. Again, home favorites. It's working out that the Knicks possibly could cover just the full game spread, but they are under 500 to covering a first half spread as home favorites. So there's that. With rest, they are actually 5-4 to covering the first half spread though. So it depends on what you want to do. If you want to decide to take the actual over in the game, Dallas first half over is 7-5. Knicks are actually 3-2, right? They're 11-9 as home favorites. Again, this is Dallas as away dogs. Team total though, Dallas as away dogs, first half spread, they're 6-6, and then they are 7-5 though to the actual total team, the team total over. But with rest they're under at 5-6. So do with this information what you will. But when it's pertaining to them allowing the team to score against them, they allow same spot technically but flipped, right? 7-5 as away dogs. In the first half, they allow teams to score their team total points against them, and they're even 6-6 to allowing the team to score the full spot. Now, I just mentioned about the spread and everything. The one key thing that you could possibly take away from this specific spot, you see this spot down here, ATS range records. Knicks are actually positive, 5-1, 83% hit rate to the as favorites with a spread number of 10 or higher. 5-1 in the last 6 games that they've played with this type of a number, they've actually covered. So again, do with that information what you will, because Dallas is 2-1 to covering plus 10 in that, or just to covering a larger number as an underdog. So that's that one. Like I said, I really don't have too much for that game, to be honest. Like I said, the next one up is the Spurs game. The next one up is hold on. The next one up is Utah and San Antonio. I don't know why it says 5 o'clock. Let me stop. I don't know why it's saying Moneyball or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Maybe it's because it's their time, but it's technically my time. It's 5 p.m. my time, because this game is literally just about to start. But I wanted to just talk about it. Oh, let's hope that Middleton gets back in, because like I said, I need that. I just need 2 buckets from him, just 4 points. That's it. So when it's pertaining to the Spurs game, this one's gonna be a little bit more interesting, because the Spurs specifically, you see some red here, right? You see some red, then you see some green for Utah. So Spurs at home compared to the Jazz on the road, right? So there's some green when it's pertaining to this to the total, but when it's pertaining to the actual spread, this is what it says. Spurs are 22-19-2 to covering the spread on the season, 10-8-2, just above 500, covering at home, and as favorites though 12-14, and they're 8-8-2, 50% to covering as home favorites. Jazz 23-19 to covering the spread, 9-12 on the road, 20-18, just above 500 to the spread to cover as underdogs, and then 8-11 to covering as away dogs. So there's that information, right? But when it's pertaining to the over under, the total currently is what? 238. I'm gonna guess it was higher than that, maybe 241 as of yesterday, but now it dipped down to 238. Kind of dipped down to 237 just a couple minutes ago now, but now it's 238 now, 238 and a half. So the over under when it's pertaining to the Spurs at home, they're 8-12 to the more so to the under, 11-17 to the under as favorites, 6-12 to the under at home, specifically as favorites, right? There's that. Jazz, it's a positive for them, 26-16 to the over because they don't play any defense, but 10-11, just under 500 to the under on the road, but then they're 23-15 to the over as dogs, but then 9-10 as away dogs. So there might be a slight lean to the actual total going under. Now again, if this was 241, then I would kind of feel more inclined to take it. The books currently believe that it is still going to go under this 238. So we will see here specifically. Let's see if I can find. Let me go to Stop Views here. This is another site that I use. Let's see. Let's see Spurs over under record. More so specifically on Mondays. What does it say? They are 56 71-4 on Mondays all time. Now I feel inclined to take this under. And I need to hurry up and make this decision because this game is getting ready to start. Do I take this 238 under? Because again, they're 56 and 71 on Mondays. Let's see versus Utah. 3-2 all time though on Monday. So just above 500 against Utah. They've gone over. But again, it's 56 and 71 to the under. Really sort of kind of inclined to take this under. Jazz over under record. Whoops, I could spell under right? On Mondays. 75 and 77. So again, still slight dip down to the under. I'm really, again, if this was 241, I would feel more comfortable. Like I said, my main pick is the Spurs to score 64 points in the first half. Just being honest. If anything, I would probably wait to see what it looks like. If the number is higher, say at the end of the first quarter, then I'll do a live play for this to go under, because I would feel more comfortable if it was higher than the 242. Technically the 238. So, but again, that's the data for this game. Let's move on and wait. Pacers heading to the 76ers. I do have a specific pick for this game. I'm waiting, specifically patiently waiting for an update, which, let me look on Twitter. Again, I need to know this information. Let's see. Any news update? Chet balled out. Oh wait, it cashed. My live pick cashed. I faded on the live pick. I faded the Cavaliers live team total points at the half. 107.5, 108. Took it under. It cashed. The Cavaliers finished. The Cavaliers finished with 104. But my main pick went over though. I took the under 234. It went over at 240. So that pick is done. So no longer am I thought I was gonna go 1-0 for my main pick to my main two picks, and it didn't. It didn't happen. So maybe because tomorrow I did mention about the Rockets because they play tomorrow. I mentioned this on this other live stream that I was doing. Because Steven Adams is officially out because of that knee injury that he got late. Easton's questionable. So no, nothing. I'm looking for the any update on the 76ers, and I don't see anything. Because the main reason why, here's why. I'm looking to fade. Where are you, dude? Tyrese Maxey, PRA. I'm looking to fade his PRA under 41.5. But I need to know if Paul George and Embiid are in, or at least one of them are in. If both of them are in, I'm fading Tyrese Maxey. If Paul George is in and Embiid is out, I'm fading Tyrese Maxey. If Paul George is out and Embiid is in, I'm fading Tyrese Maxey. If none of them play, I am not fading Tyrese Maxey tonight. So I need one of them or both of them to play in this game against Indiana. I need that to happen. Really, really need that to happen. So the hope is that will happen. Let's look at this Philly game. Let's look at the data. See if we can find anything else. This is the data. This is what it says. So there's a little bit of green. Well, it's mostly somewhat green for the 76ers. Pacers, literally red, right? So when it's pertaining to the spread is currently now 5.5. The total is 227.5. This is what it says. So 76ers have still been covering, right? 23-16. But Now there's a positive though. They're 14-9 as favorites, right? But at home specifically, they don't play really well at home. They play better on the road. If this was them on the road versus the Pacers, I would be more inclined to take the 76ers to cover the spread tonight. But they are 9-12 at home, 5-7 at home as favorites, right? The Pacers 22-21, 8-11 on the road, 19-17 as dogs, but then 8-10 as away underdogs. So there's that info. Do with it what you will, because you have to consider, can the Pacers actually cover? Now there's some positive stuff for the actual total, just some positive stuff, right? So when it's pertaining to the total, they're 76ers are 21-18 to the over, 11-9 positive to the over, but there's an even spot. This is 11-9 with them at home. There's an even spot with an 11-11 over under as favorites, but then there's 6-5, just above 500 at home as favorites. But again, down there at the bottom here, there's some greenage, right? In the last 14 games, they're 8-5-1 to the over. In the last 6 games, 4-1-1 in these last 14 games to the over at home. But then they're even 5-5-1 in the last 11 games as favorites. But then 3-1-1 in the last 4 games at home as home favorites. So slight lean towards the over for the Sixers, but the Pacers, when it's pertaining to the over under, this is what it says: 16-27, more so to the under, 6-13 as on the road, 14-22 as dogs, 5-13 as away dogs, even 7-7 to the spread, 2-3 again the last 14 games on the road, even 6-6 as dogs, 2-3 as away dogs, 5-9 though when it's pertaining to the over under, 5-9. So most of them going under in the last 14 games. Slight positive, 3-2 to the over under on the road, but then 4-8 in the last 12 in their last 12 games as underdogs, but then 3-2 as away dogs. Do with this information what you will. Like I said, my only real main spot is Tyrese Maxey. I just don't know if we're gonna get. I really don't know, because again, if George and Embiid are out, then I would probably say take Pacers to cover the spread, possible in the loss. But if they're both in, there might be a chance, because again, they had that game against the Cavaliers. They were winning the game. They looked like they were gonna cover that spread. And then that's when Cleveland came back, I think mid to late fourth quarter, something like that. They had scored like 10 straight points, and they eventually covered, right? And won the game and beat them 117-115. Literally, I just needed them. I really, really needed. I felt like Philly was gonna cover that. I got them at a 1.5. And I literally thought the Philly was going to just do this. Data was pointing in the right direction. They were going in that direction. At the end of the day, they were up. They were up. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. Cause came back. Let me see. Look at this. They were up 62-55 in the first half, right? In the first half, they were up. So they covered the first half spread, right? But then in the second half, decided to, I could just pick anything, doesn't matter. In the second half, there was the shift, and Cleveland won by 9 points, 62-53. There was that shift. Something happened, something occurred. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, but it was just something that I saw because I was watching all this other stuff going on with the other games. And I kept coming back to the game like, oh, they're up, and then that's when they did the run. So there's that. The question becomes, because Cleveland pretty much got their they even beat them back to back, right? They beat them in the fourth quarter, in the second half, back to back too. That's what sucks too, because you just felt like they were going to get this win 2 days later. Does Philly tonight take it out on Indiana and just like blow them out the water more than 6 points tonight? That's the question. Let's look and see. Let me see, because this is what it says per outlier here when it's pertaining to their stuff. Let me see what Philly does in the second half. In the second half, they're 17-9 and 19-4. That's the reason why, one of the main reasons why they have not played well, more specifically at home, is because of that record right there for the second half. They're just above 500, covering winning in the fourth quarter. They suck in the third quarter. So these are the reasons why. So this is why you would consider more than likely taking Philly for the first half. This is why I push people to to encourage them to say, dog, you need to look into these spreads. You need to look into these first half spreads. You can rely on player props all day. The players will let you down, but sometimes even probably higher than the actual original regular percentage, the teams are actually coming through for you. Look at what Philly's doing in the last 10 games, 50%, 40% in the last 5 though. Head to head against the Pacers, they are 2-3, right? They are 1-0 on the season. They covered on the same spot on the 12th though, pretty much over 2 months ago. So the books currently believe that they will cover this 4. I feel inclined to take Philly to cover. One of the main reasons why, because I had Clippers covering this specific number, -3.5 on the road, and Washington covered. This was like roughly an hour ago. I really feel inclined to actually take Philly to cover this -3.5 at home, because they're actually doing much better at home. I mean, excuse me, in the first half. Much. Look at this. 23-15 in the first half compared to the Pacers 15-28. Pacers are doing way better in the second quarter, 30-10 to the Pacers 17-25. So you may even want to consider taking the Pacers in the second quarter too. Let's look at the quarter. It's a 1.5, but the books currently believe that the Pacers are going to cover the second. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. That's the first quarter. They believe they're going to cover the first quarter. The books believe currently that there's a slight lean to the Pacers covering the second quarter. But again, me looking at the data, me looking at this information on Outlier, I feel more inclined. I think I've actually found an extra pick. So I'm going to go on ahead and do this live. Again, over on my Discord, you can find me, Betatron Risk. That's where I'm at. And I'm over here on WAP.com at Top Sports Debate. You can find me and the crew that I'm with. This is where I do my live feeds. I literally just did a live feed here, doing a community parlay with the crew. Shared it with them on WAP and our own Discord as well. So I'm going to take this first half spread. I really feel like Philly can indeed cover. The books currently believe that they can. They're 1-0 on the season to cover in the first half spread. I really feel inclined to take this first half spread here. So -105 on the Score app. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Let's get it. Oh, shoot. Let me stop playing around. I almost forgot. That is my fault. I apologize to my brothers. I was supposed to share this slip, and I freaking forgot. Ooh. Come on. I really need Middleton to get these 2 points. I just need 2 points, dog. There's a minute and 8 seconds left. This is my slip. Where's my slip? Is this it? Yeah. I got Middleton to get 10 points. He has 8 points. I just need a bucket, dog. That's it. Just a bucket. Their Clippers are winning 104, 103 right now. Looks like Washington's going to cover this spread too. That's wild. Let me see. Let me get on here because I want to do this live. Let me do this live. Because I feel like Philly can at least redeem themselves in the first half. We just don't know what they're going to do in the second half. Honestly, just being honest. I'm going to just take this now because if Embiid or Paul George or whomever gets put in, maybe this specific -3.5, maybe it changes. Maybe it shifts to a different number. I just want to make sure that I don't miss out on this. I'd rather do this now while I'm live streaming. And again, I'm going to post this in my Discord so that way you will see it live. So Pacers, we're going to do, let's see. Here we go. First half spread. Hold on. So did it shift? Did it already change? So maybe I won't be able to do it on this sports book. Because now it shifted to a 2.5, right? Because that's what Outlier will, like Outlier here shows this at -3.5, but on my phone it showed a -2.5 or 2, or just in general 2.5. So let me look at this here. Let me see. So it's actually shifted in favor of the Pacers to cover a 3.5. It's an even 3 on for it to go either way. But now it's a 2.5. So now it's shifted to 2.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the 2.5, but it's gonna be over on FanDuel. So it's no longer gonna be on this sportsbook. I'm just like, dang, I was gonna take it. Oh, did we? Nope. Almost casting this one. Slip. Middleton got it. Middleton got it. He scored it. Tied the ball game too. He hit a 3 or something. He had to because he had 8 points, so he hit a 3, so it worked out. So Max Christie is next up, and he looked like he's gonna get it easier than Middleton. Middleton was a full-on sweat. Max Christie, I got him down for 10 points. He has 9 points right now. He opened up against the Knicks. Dag, I wish I would have. Now I'm mad. I wish I would have taken this +12.5, son, for them to cover. It's okay. It's all right. Let me see. See, now it's a +7.5 for Dallas to cover the spread. Now, like I said, I'm just like, dag, I really should have just taken that. Should have taken Washington to cover that 12.5. I really should have just said screw it, because they're up right now. Because again, Knicks are just now kind of rolling back into winning again, more currently at home. They sucked on the road. They sucked at home. They just weren't covering, and I was putting slips in for them to pretty much lose or whatever, to not cover spreads. I was fading them on spreads and stuff, and they were cashing for me. Something told me to take Dallas to cover this +12.5, and I didn't do it. Just because it's just like you just didn't know what you were getting. Dallas is up 19-6 right now. So then what does Cooper Flag got? Does Cooper got anything? He has 2 points. Let me see. I could do it this way. Let's see. Coop has 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. All right. Let me get back to what I was doing. All right, bet. Like, I'm swole right now. I'm like, dang, I should have taken that +12.5, son. But again, it's the Knicks. You never know. They may decide to actually fix whatever. It's the NBA. One team wins in a quarter, then turn around. The other team, you know what I mean? It's always a flip flop. There's really no consistent, like, a team wins in the first half and then in the second half they just win. They just really like my OKC Thunder. We were doing really well, and now we're trying to refine that groove where we were covering spreads first half, second half, stuff like that, quarters and stuff. Now we're trying to find that groove. Other teams are still not doing that. We're not seeing so many teams cover a first half spread, second half spread, and full game spread all like that. It's always a back and forth. It's just NBA is just weird and strange. Let me stop rambling and put this pick in here. All right. I'm going to take this. And let's hope for the best while we try not to stress with this specific pick. I'm going to take it. I'm taking Philly to cover the first half spread. -2.5. Since it shifted down one. Again, the books believe now that the Pacers are going to cover. Right? So we will see. The hope is that they don't. Hope is that Philly actually does the job tonight. But again, they're at home. That's the only thing. This is the risk. They're at home. Pacers coming off of the loss against Detroit. They got blown out. So the question becomes, what are they going to do now? So Paul George is officially out. I think that's why there was the shift, right? But I think I'll take it because it's no longer 3.5. It's more the 2.5, right? For them to cover by 3. Maybe they still do it. Maybe they still win the first half by 4 points. 5. You know what I mean? Like Pacers, like Philly opens up the first quarter, they win it, and then Pacers say they win the second quarter, cover the second quarter, close, tight knit, but then Philly still possibly wins by 3 or 4 points in the full first half. So we'll see. That's the hope. I'm taking a chance. All right. Y'all need to chill, son. Y'all need to chill. All right, let me get this in because I've been sitting on this joint for a grip. Again, this is me posting this on my Discord for all eyes to see. Oh wait, hold on. So like I said, I need to know if Embiid is in. If he's in, I am. Remember, I said it here live. I said I'm fading. I'm fading your boy. Okay. There it goes. There's the post. There's the post. All right. So let's see. Y'all need to chill. I'm cracking up. That was funny. I was not expecting All right, let me get back on track here because I got distracted. I'm not having really focused on anything else because I've been stuck. This was extra that I really shouldn't have been. There was a lot of time. I may not even because I. Only reason I'm saying is because I need to go get something to eat for dinner. I don't want to put myself behind. All right. Oh, let me post this. Whoops, don't want to do that. Next up. So, Brooklyn Nets. They are literally one of my favorite teams to bet on for the season. Like I said, apologize. I took a little too long on stretching that one out. That was a little bit too extra. It's just I kind of got distracted by a message in one of the discords that I got. That was just funny. So Phoenix actually balls out, right? They actually been balling, covering spreads. Look how beautiful this is for the Suns, right? Look at this 100%, stuff like that, spreads and stuff like that, right? The Nets struggle train right now, right? So when it's pertaining to this Suns game, the question becomes: do I decide to take the Suns to cover the first half spread? I don't like taking higher numbers that are like higher. Like I like to take one and a half. Like I'm taking a chance on this 2.5 for the 76ers. I like to take 0.5, 1.5. Those are my real ranges because those numbers I feel are the actual riskier spots. This number 5.5 for Phoenix to cover on the road kind of seems like it might be again, seems like this is sports. We don't know. Maybe they do win by 6 points or higher. Maybe they win by 10. They're on the road. But again, they do cover on the road, right? They're 50% in the last 10 games. They're 50% in the last 10 road games. They are 3-2 in the last 5 road games. Brooklyn, they're covering at home 80%, but they're 40% in the last 10. When it's pertaining to this spot, both teams, right? Let's look at Phoenix in the last 10, 1-1, 1-2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Last 5 road games they've covered just above 500. Brooklyn at home, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. So both are on an even spot, right? Head to head. This was last year. They went 1-1 to covering, just in general, just this 5. So, I mean, it's 6. So there's that information. Again, Brooklyn have been cover machines specifically. They've covered 3 of the last 5 home games specifically in the month. So they're 3-2 in the month. But just in general, they've covered 8 of the last 10 home games, right? So it's up to you what you want to do with this 5.5. Phoenix, they're 30-12 to covering the spread ATS. They're 15-2 as favorites, though. They are a favorite, right? They're favorite tonight. Michael Porter Jr. is back tonight. But Denman is out. He's not playing. Sharp's not playing. Illness in the foot. They've been ruled out, Highsmith out now, and Thomas, right? So there's this information, right? As far as I can tell, Phoenix, Jalen Green is officially now out as of 11 minutes now. He's officially out because he was actually Q-Tech. So maybe he plays in their next game. So this is for them to cover 8.5. They, as you see, Phoenix has only covered 3 of the last 10 games, right? And when it's pertaining to this, now ATS wise they're covering, but when it's pertaining to the 8.5, they're only 3-7. Brooklyn, when it's pertaining to them at home, 60% to this plus 8.5, so 6-4. The last 5 games, 3-2 to actually covering a plus 3.5 at home. 8.5. So when you look at the data in front of you, Phoenix is covering. They've been covering machines on the road and all of that, but they're 5-12 when it's pertaining to the over/under as favorites, 1-5 as away favorites. But they're 12-2 in the last 14 games against the spread, 7-2 in the last 14 games on the road, 7-0 undefeated, 100% as favorites, and then 4-0 covering the spread in the last 14 road games as road favorites. So the question becomes, do you consider taking the Suns, red hot Suns on the spread? Michael Porter Jr. has officially come back tonight. What should you do? I would automatically say, yeah, take the Suns to cover the spread. But let's look at this a little bit deeper. When it's pertaining to the spread, first half spread, Suns are 23-18. They're undefeated as away favorites, 6-0. And again, 6-0, we already established they're 6-0. They're undefeated specifically as away favorites. On their first game of the back-to-back, though, first half spread, they're 3-3. But in the actual spread, they're 5-1. And then with rest, they are 5-2 and 6-1. So it's automatically, look at this 0-8 and all of that. So I would say take Phoenix for the first half spread, and maybe even as well take them for the full game spread. Team total points, they're 24-18, 4-2, and then 6-1 with the rest. So they're scoring. If you want to decide to go with their team total points, it is currently for them to get 113. The books believe they're going to get the 113. The Nets are allowing 114, but they're 4-6 to the last 4-6 to the last 10 games. On the road here, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, just above 500. And then down here, Brooklyn. At home specifically, though, in the spot. You want 113, 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2. Pick which one you want to do. I'll say take Phoenix for the first half spread, and I feel like I'm going to do that. So with that, I actually got to run. So I apologize that I can't stick around any longer, but I got to run. But with that, I will hopefully talk to you all, and maybe hopefully tomorrow's live stream. And yeah, like I said, go find me and the crew over at Top Sports Debate over on WAP. Find me on Discord, bet at your own risk. Find me, and join us and join me as we hopefully will cash on some slips and just enjoy some sports, my favorite sport. But with that, I will hopefully talk to you all